Welcome to Podcast with Lydia and Duncan, and today we are celebrating a legacy, a movement that began with one woman's vision and has grown into one of the UK's most vibrant cultural gathering for not only Kenyans in diaspora but beyond. So, what a pleasure to have you, Lydia, here with us.
Thank you. Thank you
How
very
have
much.
you been?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. 10 years on. 10 years on. What inspired this journey, Lydia, of Kenya and Friends in the Park, and how did that initial dream evolve to what it is today, for those who do not know?
Okay. Thank you so much, first of all, for giving me this platform, never taken for granted, and totally appreciate you. And I appreciate my Scotland people as well. We are in London, so I appreciate you guys. Well, Kenya and Friends in the Park, 10 years. Wow.
It's such a milestone.
It's such a milestone. When God gave me this vision, and I can say it's God, I didn't even think that we're going to be 2 years. Now it's 10. So I'm so happy. I'm so thankful to God as well, where He has taken us, from where He has taken us to where we are right now. And this is going to be beyond. Even when I'm gone, it's going to be here. You see the way we have carnivore?
Yes.
The people who founded Carnivore, they were long gone, but Carnivore is still there and it's strong and it's growing big and bigger every year. And that's my vision for Kenyan Friends in the Park. Even though I'm long gone, my children will still carry it on. The team will still carry it on. Whoever is there will still carry it on. So because of how the event started, and I always say that there's nothing new under the sun. Everything under the sun is something that somebody else had started already. But the only thing is, when you see it, you don't just duplicate, copy paste. And that's where I think that's where a lot of us go wrong, because we just do copy paste. But I think because we all learn from each other, you take something and you see how you can make it better, how you can make it yours, how you can make it fit in your community or society. So I used to attend an event called Ghana in the Park. And I used to dance there because I used to be a dancer. And every time I went to Ghana in the Park, I used to see how happy those people were, how together there was so much togetherness. And those people would come, and it was just a happy place to be. And I wasn't even Ghanaian, but I was still happy to be there. And I thought to myself, I can actually do something like this for Kenya and Friends in the Park. And that's why I always give credit where credit is due. I've told the founder, his name is Dennis of Ghana in the Park, he's my friend. And I say, you know what, you inspired me. So I always say thank you to him. And that's why our event will never be the same day, because he respects the fact that I appreciate and acknowledge him. And I think that's how things should be done.
Yes.
So moving on, I said, okay, I want to do something like this. And when I was still contemplating, because it was scary, because for me, I always believe like do something big or go home. So I was thinking, how can I actually do something big like this? So it was so scary in my head. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I can do that. So when I was still thinking about it, a Kenyan girl actually committed suicide. She was only 26 years old. And she left a note and said that she was lonely. So I was thinking, oh my God, so someone can be so lonely that they end up committing suicide because they're lonely, because that's what her letter said when she left behind. And when I was still there thinking, okay, so can I do something to bring Kenyans together so this loneliness can ease a little bit? A Ugandan girl died of starvation. Come on, Anne, who dies of starvation in the UK? Seriously, where was the community, society, the church, the mosque, anybody to girl so she doesn't die of starvation? If you tell me somebody died of something else, is different, but starvation, that's and she was from Uganda. So I was like, you know what, this is now telling me that I have to do something. I have something. On the process, I thought, my children were like, Mom, you're always talking about this thing, you're always just do it, because you keep on telling different people like, oh guys, this is my thought. One day when you just find somebody have started it, and you will know, if you can't say it was my idea, if it was in your head, has given you this thing, bring it out. Okay, so that is how it all started. And of course, there's networking, there's socializing, because we all know how socializing is. so lonely. People are so lonely. It's home, church, mosque, or club or pub, and there's nothing apart. People don't even know their neighbors. You come in, your neighbor, you don't even know. I don't even know some of my neighbors, to be honest. And I've lived this more than 20 years, and I don't even know my neighbors. So socializing was also part of it, and also investment and a big part, because we all know how it is. People are sending money home. People are sending money to their parents, their siblings, friends, neighbors. Build me a house. I'm telling you, Anne, four things from this sending your money.
Yeah.
One, there's no land, there's nothing. You keep on sending, there's nothing. Two, they'll build something, and there's something will be like this, like you've sent 1
Substandard.
million. Yeah, and they've sent something like you enter, you're like, is this my house? You're like this. The house can even fall on you. And then number three, they will build exactly what you ask them to build, and they'll put their name. And they'll ask you,
What a shame, yeah.
they'll say Utadu,
Yes.
And then the fourth one, we do have those faithful ones, but that's very, very rare. We do have the ones that will do exactly what you said. And when I'm saying this, I'll talk about my younger sister. She'll give you exactly what you said, because that's who she is. But some others, I'm not mentioning names. Let's leave it there. So we have seen both sides of the coin. So I said, okay, if I do something as well and bring investors, now it will be between you and the investor themselves. So there's no the middleman. So if you want to send money to your parents or your siblings or whoever you want to send money to, just send that money for them to use. Because imagine, Anne, somebody's child has not gone to school. Somebody have not paid their rent. Their children have not gone to school. They don't have any money to spend to buy food. They don't even know how they're going to live tomorrow. And then you send them 1 million or even 50,000 and say, go and buy me this, build me this. They wouldn't do it. Yeah. And I can't blame them, because maybe a child is sick. They need to take their children to school. So that's why I'm saying, if you want something, go direct to the professionals. So that was also another reason why Kenyans and Friends in the Park was initiated. And that, with all those things, was the birth of Kenyan Friends in the Park 2015.
Oh, that is so good, and looking back, the impact, there's a lot of impact that has been seen, because and I want to ask you again, what is the difference between the first, second event that you had and the 8th and the 9th? Like, how does that growth look like?
I'm telling you, if there was a scale, I'll show you the scale goes like that. When a child is born and there's growth every day, the child starts speaking. I was actually looking at my children's book the other day when they were born, and it was so funny, because they put 5 months. What do they do when they're 5 months, 10 months, 1 year? So you're recording every time when they get to that month. What do they do? And then when was their first walk outside? My first one was to the park, another one was to school, another, so different things. So you can see growth. So that's how Kenyan Friends in the Park has actually grown, because we do have videos. I was just looking the other day, because I Googled every video from 2015 to now. And it was growth every year. We see growth. Sometimes we see the same people. There are some people from 2015 until to date. They have come to the event. Especially, there's a friend of mine called Margaret Mutula. Margaret has come to the event from 2015 until today. And she comes for 2 days now. We started 2 days. So there's growth. And as we grow as well, as the numbers grow, we also grow and do different stuff. Like from 1 year to 5 years, we used to be 1 day. So we used to just do a 1 day event. But from 5 years to now, we thought, let's change something. We started doing 2 days event, because we saw a lot of people who are saying, oh, we can't come on Saturday because we are either going to church, SDA. They go to church on Saturday. They can't meet. Yeah. So we wanted something that everybody can come and enjoy. Even if on Sundays we have less numbers, but it's not about the numbers. It's about, we want to cater for everybody. So that's why we decided to do 2 days as well from year 5. And the fact that also investors were like, look, we're coming all the way from Kenya for only 1 day. So for us to also have our ROI, why don't you do 2 days? In fact, they were saying like 4 days. I was like, no. No, it's not happening. 4 days, but it's stressful already 1 day. So we are doing 2 days for different reasons, and also just to grow, because as you grow, you have to do something different. You cannot just stay the way you started. So that's why after 5 years now we're doing 2 days, and the growth is evident. I can tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you also mentioned that, people are looking to come together and to unite and to have company and to even know each other.
Mhm.
So apart from that, the social bit of it for only like, the Kenyans, how about the unity within the African community and the multicultural communities? Because it is not only Kenyans in the park, it is Kenya and friends in the park.
Yes. So it's Kenya and friends in the park. And that's why, even though I was looking at Ghana,
Mhm.
Ghana Ghana in the park. So I felt like they're only catering for Ghanaians. But with Kenya, the reason why I had to put and friends, because if you look at the community, we are the most people who have intermarried. We've intermarried a lot. So if somebody is intermarried, say, is with a different community, and it's a woman or it's a man, and you say Kenya in the park, someone might feel like, oh, so I'm not invited because I'm not Kenyan. So that's why we say Kenya and friends. So 80%, of course, are Kenyans, but 20% are friends of Kenya. And we with Kenya, some of them, sometimes Kenyans, we love Kenya, we love ourselves. That's why we can fight amongst ourselves.
Yes.
If somebody comes and say, "Oh, I don't," we're like, you're not Kenyan, please." When
Yes.
it comes to an outsider, you cannot abuse Kenyans, but we can abuse ourselves.
Mhm.
So when it comes to that, and that's where we said, come as a friend, come as a friend, let's come together and join. So you see Kenyans, because they love themselves so much, they always say, "Oh, Kenya in the park." I always correct them. I say, it's not Kenya in the park. It's Kenya
That's
and
what most
friends.
people say, yeah.
Don't forget the first aspect of it. So it's Kenya and friends in the park. So we do have other communities. There's a video that we did. KTN actually is the one that did that video, 2023.
Mhm.
And they actually interviewed two people, and those two people were not from Kenya. One was from Ghana, one was from Nigeria. And the Ghanaian, what he said really, really touched me, because he said, I was just walking, I didn't even know about the event, and I had music because I've never had music. And then I saw smoke, and I was like, okay, what's going on? When he came, they told him that it's an event and it's called Kenya and Friends in the Park. And he was like, okay, I'm a friend of Kenya. So if they said it's Kenya in the park, probably would have been like, okay, so I'm Ghanaian, probably I'm not welcome there. But because somebody told him it's Kenya and friends, he
Mhm.
said, I'm a friend of Kenya. So he came to the event. So we do have other nationalities that are
Yes.
welcomed 100%.
And you've
Yeah.
had testimonies from not only Kenyans, from other people and so many people. What are some of
Hmm.
the very common testimonials that you get that are exciting or have made you very glad that you keep doing what you do?
Yeah. So I do have different testimonies. Oh my God, the testimonies are I have so many different testimonies. First, the friendship rekindled. The
Mm,
friendship rekindled. That is something that there's a lot of people who have come and they said after 30 years, they've never seen each other for 30 years, for 20 years, for 10 years, for 15 years, even for 2 years. They're like, oh my God, where Pioko Apa? You're here. Oh my God, you're here. So that is friendship rekindled. That is
yes.
first, because that's very, very important. And that was also the main thing that I wanted to do, Kenyan Friends in the Park. Else, also, there's another video again that was done in because I was watching all the videos and I saw, I think 2016 or 2013, somebody said they came all the way from a Hull, and
Mm-hmm.
they came and they bought a land because
Oh.
somebody was interviewing around. Oh, why are you here? What do you like about this? And they're like, yes, I bought a land. In fact, it was, I think, 2016, because they were saying that they're the next day. So
Mm-hmm.
they're like, and we're coming again tomorrow because we booked the whole of 1 week off. Apart from meeting friends, apart from making new friends, I've also bought land. So we have people who are landlords, we have people who are invested in different sectors, not just buying land or not just property. We have people who have bought properties and legit companies, because before companies come, because we also have companies who, to be honest, are dodgy. But
Yes.
before they do our diligence, we speak to the affairs office, the embassy. When they hear foreign affairs or embassy, they're scared. If they're not legit, they will not
Yeah.
come. So we've had people, and we also have banks. Past, I said to myself, I had a bank. I never had an account in Kenya. But when I started Kenyan Friends in the Park, and now the banks are coming, because now they've come to you, they have your time than when you're in Kenya.
Yeah.
So that's how I opened my bank account. So the banks come as well. So you can open a bank account. And also, don't forget that we have some people who are not documented. So they can't travel yet. So because they can't travel yet, does that mean that they can't have bank account? Does that mean that they can't invest with genuine companies? No, they still need to do that if they want to. So that's why bringing investors and bringing banks as well helps so many people, not just the ones that can travel, and also foreigners as well, because we know that you're allowed to invest in Kenya if you want to. So also foreigners can see that, oh, okay, this is a legit company. Because imagine taking a foreigner to your country and then they are scammed. That's not nice.
No.
If you scam a Kenyan, it's bad enough, but imagine scamming a foreigner. It's not good. So we do have that. We also have the different cultures. People are coming to learn different cultures, different food here, and especially with the young ones as well. Because I can attest to that, especially with my own children. When my child came to Kenyan Friends in the Park, she actually thought Kenya is like that. She was like, "Oh my God, mommy!" And then when I took her to Kenya, I took her to Kibera. She was like,
"Yeah."
The park wasn't like this. I'm like, "I know Kenya. The park is not Kenya."
Yeah.
Yeah. So he also encourages children as well, and when also our young children see people investing, they see people talking about land, and people are busy talking about. They're like, "Wow." They get interested, like, what's going on? What is all this about property? So it's also helped our young ones, the second generation, because I always see ourselves as we are the first generation. So our second generation, our children.
Yeah.
So they want also to now invest, and also culture-wise, and also speaking our language. They just speak our language openly. So I think it was a very, very big platform for so many things. And also marriages. Oh my God. A girl just called me the other day. She was like, "Lydia, you don't know. I met this guy. He's from Caucasian guy. I met a Caucasian guy where Kenyan Friends in the Park, when we were just about to come out, the man went to Kenya and they're married now. So they're married. I've heard marriages have happened. People have met.
People meet.
Boyfriends and girlfriends in Kenyan Friends in the Park. Last year we had a girl propose. She was proposed in there. There's a video that was going around. They proposed to her there. So we've had love. And love is the creation of everything. So we have love there. We have work experiences, because we work with volunteers, and these volunteers ask us for referrals. So we write for them letters as well, so they've got work experiences. And then artist growth. I'm telling you, I don't know if you know Sarah Ikumi. Sarah Ikumi,
yes, Sarah Ikumi,
was in British Got Talent, and she's so good. 2015, she was in our platform, Kenyan Friends in the Park. But now she's so big that we can't even afford her back.
No, we can't even reach her. The last time I think we met her, it was at the Buckingham Palace, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
She had her PR and everything. Yeah.
So and in 2015 she was in Kenya in the Park, in the platform. She was singing. So, and we've seen other artists as well that have come through Kenyan Friends in the Park. Even DJs. We have a DJ that is now big. We can't even afford them anymore, because when they get to that place, they're like, nah. They forget where they came from. But we are happy, because as much as they forget where they come from, that for us is the fact that we saw them in our platform. So we can actually say we have a video of you in our platform, So I think that's also Kenyan Friends in the Park has done so much. And we also have wealth creation, people with stalls. They come, they sell their stuff. And I'll give an example of one lady called Maureen. I'm sure she doesn't mind me saying Maureen, because I've put her even in a magazine. That was her first platform. And when I called, I was like, "Maureen, you can do it." "No, Lydia, I don't know." But when she did it, she now goes everywhere. This year, she's even doing fashion show. She was like, "Lydia, thank you so much for giving me that platform." Wealth creation. So she was there. She's done things. And also job opportunities, because when you have those stalls, people get work, especially when investors are coming from Kenya. They always say, "Oh, can you get us people to work for us?" So that is also job. We've created job, even though it's only 2 days. And then experience as well. And now I've left the last for the best.
Yes.
Salvation.
Yes.
Because we do have a church. I know Kenyan Friends the Park is not about church, but we do have only one church that we've been with them since 2015, PCEA, with Pastor Kifadi. We've had it since 2015. They were with us. And the reason why he's always there is because of the way he supported us 2015. He sponsored the event, stood with us, nothing. Till today, he comes since 2015. And even when he comes, he does not advertise his church. He comes to advertise the kingdom of God. And one guy last year came and said, oh my God, when I home, I think that I'll go home to a new creation. He gave his life. And he's not
Wow.
the only one who has given his life. I think every year he gives his life to Christ through Kenyan Friends in the Park.
Oh,
So
that's
that place, it's amazing. And then one also, before I have to mention this as well. There's a lady who, after just when just this Kenyan Friends in the Park, she called me and she kept on calling me. I was thinking, who is this girl? So I picked up her call and she was like, I really need to just sit down and buy you dinner. So I was like, okay. I don't like, oh my God, I don't know if this girl is a serial killer, but you know what? Let me just go and meet her.
I'll
Because she
go.
said she saw me from Kenyan Friends in the Park. So I went to meet her. This girl was so lovely. And she was actually crying. And she made me cry. She said, Lydia, you don't know what you've done. When she this country, of course, nobody knows her. I'll just tell her story. When she came to this country, she lived with her sister and her husband's sister, and the husband's sister used to rape her. And when she told her sister chucked her out and blamed her. You know how some
Yes.
people are just mentally disturbed. Like, how do you blame somebody who has been raped? And they say, oh, it's your fault. What were you wearing? It's your fault. Why did it? You know, those stupid comments about a victim. So that's why victims don't even talk. So this girl was chucked out by her sister. But when she came to Kenyan Friends in the Park, met with them, and she told me that she loved him and felt sorry for him. And she felt like, I'm surrounded by love. I'm surrounded by Kenyans. I'm surrounded by people who love me and trust me. You can't do nothing to me. And she said, if they had met outside, probably she could have frozen.
Yeah.
But because she met with the man in Kenyan Friends in the Park, like, I'm protected.
Yes.
And because of that, I was like, God, Lord Jesus, this Kenya in the Park is going every single year. Let us stop. One day we can even start doing 3 days. Who knows?
Yes, yes, because
Yes.
if it's come that far and people are still feeling like, this is home. It's a piece of home where you go, you have
Yes.
a Kenyan market, you have Kenyan music, you have Kenyan, and other friends, who you share cultures with. So I think
Yes.
it is a very, very important festival, and the feedback I could give you myself, and we talk often, is a lot,
Yes.
and it's amazing. Talking of even meeting friends, I met one of my very good friends. The last time I saw her was either in 2018 or 2019. And we lost contact, we lost touch, and then life got in the way. And I was just there last year dancing, and then someone tapped me, and I was like, "Who's that?" And just to realize, oh my goodness, thank you for your number. But it was really, really good. And
Yes.
and so much, much more,
Yes.
So talking about feedback, I'm sure you get tons and tons of feedback from the attendees. And please give us
Yes.
a sneak peek of some of the feedback that you've received, that you've acted upon, and some of it that has stood out for you and either, shocked you, surprised you, or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, we grow through feedbacks, whether it's positive or negative. That's what we grow with. And also, some of them you take, some of them you know that this is just somebody being malicious. So you just put it in the bin. Some of them you put it in the shelf, you'll come back later and pick them up. Some of them straight away you act on them. Some of them you just ignore. And that's how we grow. And we have feedbacks upon feedbacks. You know how many people come. Like last year we had 10,000 people. When
Yeah.
we put the feedback form out, you know how many feedbacks we'll have. But
Yeah.
some are repetitive. So we know that this is important.
Mhm.
So one thing, some people are asking for more artists. For more artists from Kenya.
Mm.
To bring artists in this country is not free and it's not a joke. So they have something called rate card. I had to explain this to somebody so many times before they understood what I was talking about. There's a rate card. When they send you their rate card, is everything their demand. They don't care that they're going to the UK. They care that they're getting paid.
Mhm.
And their rate card, some of them will say, I want first class. I don't want anything. Some of them will say, I want this car. Some of them will say, I want this accommodation. Some of them, they'll give you also, this is how much you pay me. Some of them will say, I can't come by myself. I come with my manager. Some of them will say, we come 6 people. Some of them, like, serious demand. And if we cannot meet those demands, we can't bring those artists. We can just look at it and say, okay, we can just afford to bring one artist. Don't forget, to Kenyan Friends in the Park, people only pay £20 to enter, which they also still complain of £20. And then they tell me that they want more artists from Kenya. That's impossible. That's impossible. But we use local artists as well. And I think it's for us, which we need to appreciate our local artists. Just because they're local artists, they say, I'm not going because so-and-so is not coming. Our local artists are also important for us to support. And those ones don't really cost a lot of money. But the ones that are coming from Kenya, because it's international, or coming from Uganda, Tanzania, wherever they're coming from, it's somebody like, what's his name? This Tanzanian guy, what's his name? Diamond will ask for 40 million. Where am I going to get 40 million from? Where am I going to get that to pay this guy?
Kenyans will do a fundraiser.
Oh my God, no way. I won't even allow that. I will not even allow that. People are starving in Kibera. People are suffering in Kibera. I'm paying one artist 40 million. That will never happen. So I can never do that. And then there's some people again say, oh, there's too much artists on stage. So that one we took in. And now we decreased the artists. We're not having a lot of artists because some people said, oh, we didn't have games. So we've reduced because the time of games, there was so many artists because everybody wants a chance. Oh, can I come? If you say no, oh, why not? Oh, no. Oh my God. But this year we've said, you know what? We're listening to people. Too many artists. We're cutting them off so that we can have games. And somebody else, I should call the name of the person, that there's a game called 50-50 Kenya 50-50. I didn't even know about that. Yay!
Yes. Oh, Kenya
that's something
50 is one of them that we play, and it is amazing. And now that's our new game now.
Yes, so that is our new game. So we are bringing that on board. So we've listened to the feedback. We're bringing that on board, and there's something about the bar. The 5 Tasker is by I don't know. So we've spoken to people and say, look, if you don't get it right, we are going to source somewhere else again. Yeah, yes. You have to get it right because the bar, and then the food as well. People complain there's too much queue, and I say, look, go to rugby. Every year I used to go to rugby. If you go to rugby or any event, go to Ghana in the park, go to Zim in the park, go to there are queues. The queues is a normal thing. What I've realized with Kenyans are not patient. We are not patient. I want to get there and get my food quick. I want to get there and get my drink quick. Or the queue is too long. The queue has to be long. Yes. Because if it's not long, then those people are not going to even get the return of investment.
And they want hot food as well, isn't it? Everybody wants fresh, hot food, and that standard has to be maintained. And it's everywhere, all the events. I go to probably over 10 events every year, and the queues. If I see there's no queue, I'm not going to that stall. I go to where there's a queue.
You go to where there's a queue because where there's a queue, the food is nice. Yes. And Kenyans complain. What I've realized with Kenyans, we like complaining a lot. Yeah. Oh, it's expensive, yet we want artists. How are we going to pay for that? Oh, the queue is too long. What do you want? Just there's no queue. Oh, the bar, there was too long. Everything about Kenyans is complain. But we also appreciate the ones that some feedbacks are so positive. Like they'll make you cry. Somebody will be like, I'll bring my 10 people next time. I can't believe it. So we do have both negative and positive. But to be honest, from the bottom of my heart, 98% are always positive feedbacks. So it's a good thing.
What's your vision for the next 10 years?
Okay. So first of all, when they come to this year, because this is the 10th year, so we are trying to make it big. Like I said, we're trying to expand it and make it big. So we want to work with a different community. So we were thinking of, we start with East African community, but instead of bringing the whole of East African community in one, we start with one because of the crowd control. So we see how it works, because you must, as much as you want something big, you also have to be logical, right? Yeah. And being logical means, how am I going to control the crowd? Let me see how the crowd is going to be first. Let me see how everything is going to be this year first, and the next year you extend, next year you extend. It's not just, I want extension before police come and shut you down because of too many people and you cannot control the crowd. So we start with one community this year. So we are starting with Ugandan community. So we're going to have Kenya and Friends in the Park. And within Kenya and Friends in the Park, we're going to have a Ugandan village.
Yay!
Yeah. So we're gonna have a Ugandan village. So we have two communities in one. But Kenya and Friends in the Park will never change. So every year, so next year, by God's grace, we bring another community. So that my 10 years vision is every year we bring another community. So by the time it's probably 10 years, you enter Kenya and Friends in the Park and you see all this
all the flags.
Village. Every country has their own village. So if you want to visit Tanzania, you can just go to Tanzanian village and see what's happening. There's investment there, and you know that those people who are there now, they are legit. So if you want to buy property in Rwanda, because you know now a lot of people are investing in Rwanda, but you cannot know how do I start investing in Rwanda? Who do I go to? So if you come to Kenya and Friends in the Park, there's legit companies that also they've been vetted before they are brought there in the park. If you want to invest in South Sudan, you know, oh, South Sudan, they're there. So by the time, that's my vision, that every year we're going to bring another community and have villages. So we're going to have, it's like Bomas of Kenya. You enter Bomas of Kenya, you see Luo village, Kikuyu, Kamba, Giriama. So that's how my vision is for.
Oh, amazing. And we will support you all the way, because I think even now, when you look at the world right now, as much as we have these wars, these fights, these disagreements, this leadership breakdown, African countries are coming together. You know, African countries are saying we don't want visa things anymore. You know, let our African sisters and brothers be able to travel. Let us become one. So I think it is just right for even Kenya and Friends in the Park to open up. I think that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So we can have free integration. You integrate with this country and this country and this country. So that's a good one. That's a good one. So it's visa free in Kenya and Friends in the Park.
Visa free for everybody to
for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Something else. Yeah, just to mention something else, because it's so funny, because the way, I don't want to say community, but I want to say Kenyans, because I've gone to other events and I see how it is, which are their Black community. But with us Kenyans, you want to go to somebody's event, even in rugby, even in any Oibo's event, nobody's allowed to come in with any form of drink. You're not allowed to come in with any form of drink. So right now, things not to bring. Do not bring your drink. No drink, whether it's soft drink or alcohol, especially alcohol, is a no. Even soft drink is a no, unless you have a child and you're bringing their milk inside, that's fine. Or you have a flask and it has hot water for the child, that's fine. But no things not to bring. Don't bring any drugs. No drugs, please. And no weed, because I know somebody say, oh, but weed is not a drug. Weed is still a drug. Do not bring any weed. If you want to smoke outside. We're not judging you for smoking your weed, but smoking outside, come in, no drugs. No weapon. Any form of weapon, please, no weapon at all. You can't come with a small knife and say, yeah, I've just cut my mango when I'm in there. No, there are knives in there to cut mangoes. So no, for any form of weapon is not allowed. So those are things not to bring. Now, things to bring.
Yes.
Bring your Kenyan t-shirts. Bring anything Kenyan. Anything Kenyan. If a Kenyan hat, Kenyan t-shirt, Kenyan this. Bring anything Kenyan. But we're also going to have things on being sold there as well. Any Kenyan thing. Bring your umbrellas. We all know this weather is called betrayal weather. It's a traitor. This is a traitor. So bring your umbrellas. Bring your chairs, because some people don't like sitting on the floor, or maybe it rains and it's wet. Bring your chairs, and we're praying, God, please, it doesn't rain, but just in case, bring your chairs. Bring your mats. So if you want to sit on the floor, you can put your mats. Bring your kangas, those lessers and everything, cover yourself. Bring comfortable wears and comfortable shoes. I've seen somebody who came with heels.
Yes.
And then now they had to take it off, because now they're, come on, guys, you're going to the park. So we have comfortable shoes, comfortable clothes, so you don't feel like your shoes are peeling you at the end, even though at the end mine, I'd always take it off, but it's still comfortable. And also bring money, bring moolah.
Money.
Because you're going to spend. So don't come and say, oh, I thought everything is free. Nothing is free in this life. Nothing. The only thing that is free is salvation. Apart from salvation, nothing else is free. Nothing else is free. And the air that we breathe, thank God. Because that's part of salvation, the air that we breathe is free, but everything else cost money. Coming in is £20, £20 for Saturday, £20 for Sunday. But if you're going to come for the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, is £35. So you have £5 discount. We have families discount as well. If it's adults and 2 children, or parents and 2 children, you have a discount as well. And we have loads of parking, because I know somebody was asking, do you have parking? Yes, we do have parking. Parking is free on Saturday and Sunday. Parking is free around the area. Not like we have a designated place to park, but we do have around parking, a lot of parking. So just come early, you'll get parking. It's free. If you don't get that free parking, there's a big parking in Ealing Broadway, and that one they pay £12 per day, which £12 per day is not bad, to be honest.
Yes.
That is the whole shebang.
Are you able to give us like 1 or 2 things that will be very special to celebrate the 10th anniversary?
Apart from the game,
yes,
50-50, because I know that is something that a lot of people have requested.
yes,
Yes. That is something that I feel like it's the games, because we're introducing different games as well. I think we have 3 different games that we're introducing, and I feel like that will be good. And then also the other thing that is very special is what we are going to give the winners, because normally people just play games, but what do we get playing games? So we are going to get, we have 2, one for Saturday, one for Sunday. We have Kenya Airways free complimentary tickets.
Yes.
So anybody who wins a game on Saturday, you get a free complimentary ticket to go to Kenya. It's totally free with 2 luggages. You know, nowadays they even do 1 luggage. So it's 2 luggages and it's totally free. You don't pay anything towards your complimentary ticket. That's Saturday, and another one on Sunday. So those are very special things that are going to happen. Artists, we do have our artists.
Yes.
Online artists, we have Dr. Ofweneke is going to be our MC. We have Dr. Ofweneke going to be our MC. I think with Kenyan Friends in the Park, we've really tried to have nice MC. 2015, when we started, it was actually Larry Madowo. Now he's so big, we can't even talk to him.
Oh, we can't even reach him, no.
I actually reached him, because I spoke to him, and he was like, oh, nowadays, if anybody wants me, they have to go through CNN. I was like, yes, wow.
Oh, dear.
Yes, Wangu. When you did Kenyan Friends in the Park 2015, we just called you and you came.
Yeah.
But then people grow, and you have to respect growth. One thing I would say, you have to respect growth. So because he's grown, we have to respect where he is at this particular point, and we thank God for his life. But 2015, he was our MC. We've had Ken Smart. Ken Smart. Yeah, Ken Smart have also been our MC. And we also had the other person that we had was Gidi Gidi Maji.
Yeah.
And I am unbogable.
Yeah.
It was our 2018. So this time we have Ofweneke.
We have an international MC. You mentioned the people who've come before, and right now are so big. They're up there. And that's what we want, because even Kenyan Friends in the Park is getting up there, isn't it?
They're up there as well, yes.
Yeah. So there's something I've been debating in my mind, and I was like, comparing how much we pay for Kenyan Friends in the Park and other events, festivals, or concerts that we pay. This is just a fraction of the money, and we want it to grow and become mega. So, and I thought, is it because you want everybody to be able to afford to come there, or is it that in future maybe people could pay more so that they can get everything they want?
Yes. That's a good one. I like that thought. We make it £20 so that everybody can be able to come, because like you rightfully said, I just ask people, just go to other events. You know, some people have never been to any event. It's only maybe they just wait for Kenyan Friends in the Park. And some people are so, I don't want to say ignorant, because that's not a right word, but probably I'll just use it anyway, because I'm thinking of any other word and I cannot get it. They think, or they don't have the information. Maybe they're not ignorant. It's just that they don't have the information. Because when we tell them pay £20, you hear somebody say, oh, that's a lot of money. But then, oh, why are you charging us for the park? And I'm like, sweetheart, the park itself is not even free. The reason why we don't do event in Barking and Dagenham anymore, because that's where we started, they were charging us And I have those emails. And even our mayor, thank God, bless mayor, she intervened and they said no. They were charging us 17,500 pounds, not Kenya shillings, pounds, to use their for 2 days. And yet somebody will call me or somebody will write and say, but the park is free. Why are you charging us? But this is free. This is free. There is nothing for free. From the park, we pay. And the parks start from 8,000 pounds. Parks start from 8,000 pounds going up. So it depends with which park you're using. But maybe if it's in the village outside London, maybe the parks would be like 5,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds, depending. But in London, parks in London start from 8,000 pounds. So if you don't believe us, just call your council and say, oh, yeah, my name is whatever. I want to do an event. They'll ask you how many people in attendance. The minute you quote people, and then they ask you another thing, are you charging? Yes, that's it. Money goes up. Ghana in the park, they pay 50,000 pounds to use the park. And they only use the park once. The event is only one day. And that's how much they charge, they pay. And that's why people pay more money to enter. But Ghanaians still come. That's why I love the Ghanaian community. They still come. If you see the Ghanaian community, they don't have this in the park here. I don't know where. They don't have it. They just wait for that one. And they pay a lot of money to come in because they also pay a lot of money for production. Production is expensive. Now, I'll tell you how much we paid last year. And if that money was mine, I would have bought, I don't know how many mansions in Kenya and changed Kibera for my poor people in Kibera. Yeah. We spent 115,000 pounds for the production last year. Oh dear. So this year, as we want it to be bigger, of course, we're going to spend more. Where does that money come from? I don't have that money. So that money comes from us paying at the gate. That money comes from the investors who wants the stalls. That's how we get that money. Without that, we can't do anything. There's no money that we even say, oh, I'm taking this one home. I've made this money. We've made nothing in Kenyan Friends in the Park because for us, it's not about business. For us, it wasn't business. We've never looked at it as business at all. We look at it as Kenyans coming to have good time. If we were looking at it as business, people won't be paying 20 pounds. No. They'll pay more than that. Because go and see Zimbabwe, Zim in the park. People pay. The last time I was checking for the tickets, I saw 100 and something for I was like, hey, yes, wangu. If I told Kenyan to pay that, they will run away. They will not even come. They'll abuse me how I want to buy a chopper with their money. So we do 20 pounds so that we can also give you something good. And we can also not take out of our pocket. And please you as a Kenyan or a friend of Kenya. So that's why we just have to ask for a little token, 20 pounds for entry. Because if you look at how much production costs, because when I say production, I start from the park. Park is not free. Generator is not free. Stage is not free. Lights are not free. The technician is not free. Videography is not free. Oh my God. Security is not free. Toilet is not free. Nothing is free. Stewards are not free. Nothing is free. Everything is being paid for. The event manager, they are not free. So everything is being paid for.
And I think this is why it's important for people to know, because if it was a business for you, you wouldn't be open to even mention figures. But people are here trying to think, oh, 10,000 people, then they do their calculation plus 80 pounds. So she's making money because if someone thinks, oh, the park is free, and then they forget to even think about electricity, the generator, or what, other things.
The artist.
So they see the sponsorships and
somebody like Major, because his red card should be out there.
Yes, his red card is out there.
We brought him last year, and somebody was saying, why did you allow Major to perform Saturday and Sunday? I was like, damn, if you pay for him, I don't mind. I'll be happy to bring. Somebody was telling me, why don't you bring Bosso? Bosso, his red card is 20,000 pounds. His rate card, 20,000 pounds. Why am I going to pay 20,000 pounds to an artist when for me, because I'm a philanthropist, anytime somebody gives me their rate card, and I respect that. I respect anybody's rate card. I cannot anybody's rate card, and I'm not somebody who also asks for discount for somebody's rate card. If your rate card is 10,000 pounds, that's your rate card, because that's how where God has put you. So that's fine. But then it's up to me to decide, am I going to pay that? And I look at it and I say, logically, I don't think I can do that. You understand? I don't think I want to do that, because I look at this money. What can this money do to somebody else who is, because I help a school in Kibera. Every time my mind is in Kibera, even my children know that. When I get money, they're like, I know you're thinking of Kibera. I think about, if somebody tells me, bring one artist and you pay them 20,000 or 50,000 pounds, to me, logically, it doesn't make sense to me, but it will make sense to everybody else. That's fine. And it makes sense to the artists, because the artists have really worked hard to get to that point.
Yeah.
So
but
if somebody
Kenyans were asking for an artist who's worth 50,000 pounds and they're paying for it, that's a different case, isn't it?
That's why somebody was telling me, bring Bosso. I said, Bosso's rate card, let me give it to you. And if you're bringing him, I'm happy. Just bring him. I'll give him a platform if you're bringing him. So that is what people should understand. These artists are not cheap. They are so expensive. And it's because they are worth it. They are worth every penny. But do I have that penny to bring them? I don't. So if I'm only to bring one artist, like now this year, we want to bring Prince Inda. Prince Inda has a band. He cannot come by one. It's not a one-man band. For you to get Prince Inda taste of music, Prince Inda is on stage with almost 12 people on stage for that music to be what it is. Prince Inda is a very big artist. He sings well. He's loved. But he's not a one-man guitar. He has his entourage, and you have to bring all of them. And that's cost money. It's not cheap. And I can't start telling you, no, let's bargain. I don't want to bargain with an artist, because I know how hard they've worked.
Yeah.
And we are bringing him this year. We want to bring him this year. So if I'm bringing Prince Inda this year, I cannot bring another artist and another artist. Do you know what I mean? So we can just use our local artists also to promote them, to give them that platform, as well as curtain raisers, so that they grow as well, because we want growth for everybody. So I think that is something that we should really understand, the cost of production. The cost of production. If we understand the cost of production as a community, then we will be able to now support willingly without complaining.
Yes, very true. Very true. And let's hope that Kenyans will get to a point where they will say, you know what, we are happy to pay £100 for the 2 days. And and we are also happy to pay forward for those people who can't afford more than £20 to be able to make the difference. And because I know Kenyans can afford, most Kenyans can afford, and most Kenyans go to other events and they know the prices. You know, it's only that sometimes they're like, you know.
Because it's a Kenyan event, I'm not paying that, it should be free. I saw one person said one day, I used to love Kenya in the Park, but when they made it business and they started charging, I stopped going and I cannot go. I just look at that. I looked at that comment and I started laughing. And I said, I wish I can break down everything for you. But you know what? God brings quality, not quantity. That's my belief. God brings quality, and God will always bring quality to you, not quantity. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. So if I have 100,000 people in my event, and then they start fighting, they don't have respect, and then police will come and say, you're not doing an event anymore. What good will that do for me? Or because I had 100,000 people, but the event at the end of the day was shut down because people are disrespectful, because it's the quantity I was looking for. But God brings quality that they know, they respect themselves. They know I'm paying this £20 and I'm coming to have a good time. Whatever it brings them, if I'm coming for food, I'm coming for investment, I'm coming for music, they know that. And in fact, the other thing that I really wanted to say, I don't know how I forgot it, is one of the feedbacks. One person was telling me that, there's a lot of there was a lot of stalls. And I said, I knew it was a young person who wrote that. And I said, honey, when I came to this country, I was so young. I think I wasn't even 20 yet. If somebody, one day I went to do my hair, and this woman was saying, she's going to celebrate 40 years. I was like, oh, damn, you're old. 40? How old are you? And I didn't know that one day I'll hit 40 myself. So I'm telling these young people, don't have a retirement plan. Kenya and Friends in the Park is not a place to come and dance and eat and party and go home. That is not, if that's what you're looking for. If you want to eat nice food, Touch House is there. You can club, you can drink, but that's not what Kenya and Friends in the Park is. Kenya and Friends in the Park is for you to come out motivated, inspired, educated, transformed. Yeah, it's not just to network. So when you're living with something that you've added something in your life. And that's why we have investors. Start your retirement plan as you're 20 years old, as you're 25. Go and talk to these investors. So I told the person, I said, oh, I didn't want to say her, but anyway, I've said it already. So everybody knows it's a woman. Come on, women, you should think better. So I told the person, I said, look, that place. So I explained to her, oh my God, that's so true. So if I go there, I say, yes, come, open a bank account, start investing back home. I'm going to the country forever. This is so cold. By the time you hit 60, you start feeling it, bones, arthritis, cold start coming in. Build a mansion back home, but you have to start slowly. If you wait until, I'll wait until I'm 45, my darling, you'll not do anything.
Yeah. And then
So
you might
that
not
is
even
why
have the right contacts, because I think this is something I would like to know from you. How, because there's a lot of work you must be doing in the background to ensure that the investors come here. There's a lot of logistics. There is also checking, background checks and all that, conversations, etc. A lot of things, and I'm sure all of them want support along the way as they prep to come here. So how do you even do this?
Yeah.
Because for us to even get a reliable person back home with the level of corruption and scam that is happening around the world, and Kenya especially, it's mad.
especially. Yeah,
Mad.
like I say, Kenya is my country and I love Kenya to bits. But my president is Burkina Faso president. Ibrahim
They're
Traore.
all
That's my
moving.
president. I'm telling you, the Kenya corruption is too much. But like you said, and that is why I always laugh. You know what? Before I used to get upset, but I told God, you know what? I'm not gonna get upset anymore. Provided I know that you've used me as the pace setter. I set the pace and people just follow. I go to Kenya. Those people, I vet them. I go to Kenya every year in February. I go to Kenya. I use my own time. I use my own transport. I use everything my own. I go and pay for a hotel. I bring all the investors. I explain to them. I start due diligence. And then when they come to Kenyan Friends in the Park, I see some people just come and get them. They wait for me to get them. And then they'll just come in Kenyan Friends in the Park. Take this investor. Take this investor. Before, it used to make me really angry. But I think God told me that I'm using you as a pace setter. So don't get angry. Rejoice that I'm using you to bring people in. It's like God uses us for salvation. So you can't be angry because somebody has been saved. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
when God told me that, I was like, oh God, okay, forgive me. Because I used to get angry because I was like, I started Kenyan Friends in the Park. Now everybody here. So I stopped getting angry because God is using me as a pace setter. I go to Kenya, I get these investors, we do due diligence with them. I go to the foreign affairs office. Sometimes you feel like people are disrespecting you, but I still push. Some offices, I don't even have appointment. What I do, I make myself clean, put myself a nice perfume that when I pass, everybody's like, damn, that smell. I dress nice, and I just go and I knock offices. They're like, do you have an appointment? I say, no. So it's the confidence they see. They're like, damn, you don't have an appointment. You look nice. You smell nice. They'll let me meet their CEO. And that's how I built this. And then somebody just comes and they just get them. But it's good for them to get them because they're getting a legit company. Because I would say that you've come to Kenyan Friends in the Park, you've gotten a company, and then they've gone and scammed somebody. Whether they've scammed somebody in your platform or my platform, they still scammed somebody. And I'm not concerned about you who came to get the investor. I'm concerned about the person that they've scammed, which is not good. So I go to Kenya every February. I look for these investors. I look for them. And I have people who also will give me contacts. I really love and I always appreciate who helps me. I never forget where I come from. And somebody who helped me so much is Mr. Seed. Mr. Seed, now he's sick, but I love Mr. Seed so much. And wherever he is, the mission also helped me a lot, and that was Ambassador Jackie Yonga, wherever you are, God bless you. She gave me a lot of contacts, and now through that, the contacts they gave me, I used it wisely, and I build up from there. And that's why every February I still go to Kenya. Somebody can tell me, look at Kenya in the Park, you have so many investors, but I still go every February. I don't stay, because even Coca-Cola, as much as it's known, they still do marketing and advertisement. So why
Yeah.
should I sit down and say because I have enough investors? I don't have enough investors. I would like to have more. And that's why I normally go to Kenya to get them and get them vetted as well, because I work with foreign affairs. So anytime they hear me saying, foreign affairs, I'm telling you, Anne, I've lost so many investors just by mentioning foreign affairs. And I'm happy because those ones were scammers.
Yes.
So
Because
that's how
so
I
many companies have come and scammed, even in the recent past, especially
yes.
through real estate.
Yes, they scam a lot. So when they hear me saying, "Oh, so we are going to give your details to Foreign Affairs Office," they're like, "Oh, Foreign Affairs, yes. Lydia, tutakupigia." So when they don't pick up, and I'm like, "This was scammers. This was scammers." So
Yeah.
the ones that come, they're actually very, very legit. And there's a woman who is coming, but I won't mention her name now, but she's somebody who we did a due diligence for her, and everybody that I spoke to, she was a pass, 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 pass. I've never worked with her before because I'm very skeptical working with new people. I like my old people, like AMG. I'll mention AMG. I've had them since 2016 until today. They
Yeah.
come, even 2020 when there was COVID, and I did it in Mtandao online. They sponsored the event still. So I really appreciate AMG. I love you guys. And these people are legit and genuine.
I
So
mean,
I do work very, very hard. Every February, I go to Kenya. Nobody follows me.
yeah.
Nobody follows me to Kenya to help me. But
Yeah.
yet, they wait for the investors in Kenya and Friends in the Park. But those investors are legit and they're genuine.
Yeah.
100%.
And you see, when you're saying that sometimes they come, people take them, but Lydia, you're very good at sharing the contacts and
Yes.
telling them, please go here. You, they come and you send them. You share
Yes.
the contacts with people as
Yes.
well.
Yes, I do that because even if I don't share it with you, someone else will.
Yeah.
Because whatever is yours is yours. So if whatever God has planned for you, God has planned for you. So even if you ask me, because I've shared your contacts as well before, I've
Yeah.
given people your contact. So if somebody asks me, "Oh, we want somebody in Scotland," and I say, "No, I don't know anybody." They might know somebody else. They will ask that person, and somebody will still give them an anyway. So
Yeah.
if anybody asks me for contacts, I always give. I always give with a clean heart. Because if you had a bad heart to ask me and you're being malicious, because I've seen people who are malicious, people who have gone before and say, "Oh, don't work with Lydia, you can work with me." They work with them for 1 year and they drop them and they come back to me and they actually tell me, and I'm like, because it was meant for me. So whatever was meant for you, Anne, I can never take it.
Yeah.
Whatever was meant for you, you can never take it.
No.
So we have to, what I always tell people is we have to respect grace. God has given everybody grace to work and be somebody. So you cannot take my grace. I cannot take your grace. We all
Yeah.
work with our grace, and that's how we get blessed.
Very true. Very true. What an amazing conversation with you, Lydia. Always, always a pleasure to
Thank
talk to you.
you.
And this conversation really proves that one idea rooted in love for people and love for your culture can move mountains, you know.
Yes.
And those testimonies are the mountains we are talking about, and
Mm.
how many lives have been saved, and how much difference has been made, how many marriages and babies and generations have been created just because of Kenya and Friends in the Park. Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. And as we celebrate 10 years of Kenya and Friends in the Park, we can only pray for, growth and more blessings. And, we want it to be big and better, and
Yes.
as we pray for
Yes.
you as well, to be blessed
Thank
of
you.
this. Mm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much, Anne. And thank you for your support always. You've always supported us. You come all the way from Scotland. I remember last year, I'm not ashamed to say this,
Yeah.
somebody did the event the same day that I did. And I was really angry because I'm like, why would you do that? Why is this maliciousness coming from? And
Mm.
you were so upset. And you're like, you know what? Regardless, I'm leaving Scotland. I'm coming to Kenya Friends in the Park. And you're there for
Yes.
2 days. You and you know what I'm
Yes, and
saying?
and and him,
And him.
we met there as well.
You met in Kenya Friends in the Park. I was dying to say that. I was dying to say that.
Yes,
So you met in Kenya Friends in the Park. So you are so,
yeah,
oh my God. You met
yeah.
there.
It is
That's
amazing. It is really amazing. I've met friends. I've met like it. I'm just one person who can say all those things. I can imagine
nice.
how many more people. You know.
Yes.
hmm
Yes.
So
Thank you.
before we forget, how can people find tickets? And where is the event this year? And
Okay.
what else? You've covered parking. If you can mention about parking again.
Yeah, so parking is around the vicinity. So it's just around. It's all free on Saturday and Sunday is free. But don't forget, because it's like a residential place, the parking won't be too many cars. It won't be like 100 cars or 120 cars. So if you come early, of course you'll get parking. But those people who will not be able to get parking, we still have parking in Ealing Broadway. And that Ealing Broadway car park is massive. It takes up to 700 cars, and it's only £12 a day. And weekends, a lot of people are not parking there anyway, so it's more free. But also, we always advocate use public transport, please, if you can, because public transport is so good. That place where the park is, I took if you're coming from, I think I took Elizabeth Line, and I went to Ealing Broadway, and then I took a bus, 270. It was only like 10 minutes. 270 dropped me out, and this is a park. So
Wow.
the public means is so good. The park is to the train station. There's another train station called Acton Central. Acton Central is also just 2 minutes walk. So the public transport, it's so good. So if you can use public, so that you can come and jinjijare, enjoy yourself, drink. I know Kenyans love drinking. Do your own things and don't drive.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody who is driving, who is sober like me, I'm always the one who is driving people around, and I feel bad when everybody's in the car and they're like, because they're drunk and I have to drive, and I open the windows for them to wake up. So if you can get a sober driver, drink, enjoy yourself, but please don't drink and drive. Dangerous. Now, the event is on the 26th and the 27th of July.
Yes.
It's in a place called Acton Park. So that's Acton, Acton Park. And the address is Acton Park, the Vale. And that's in London. And it's W, which is Whiskey 3, W3, 7 James X-ray. So that's 7JX. So that's the address. The event starts at 11. Guys, it's 11. It's not 11 p.m., 11 a.m.
Yeah.
It starts at 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And of course, on Saturday, there's an after party. And after party is somewhere else, which the venue will be confirmed very soon for after party. And that is where it is. And if you want tickets, the tickets are in Shub. Shub, of course, if you go to Shubs and just Google Kenyan Friends in the Park, or if you can't find it on Shubs, just go straight to our website or go to Eventbrite as well. So if you can't find it in Shubs or Eventbrite, go to our website, which is www.kenyainthepark.com, and you'll find it on our website. If you just open the website, you'll find the Eventbrite where to get the tickets.
Amazing. Thank you, Lydia. Kenya and Friends in the Park, 10 years. Which means it's 10 years of unity, pride, and purpose. And it's just the beginning. So all of you, please make it there with your friends, with your family. Invite your neighbors as well. Let's meet on the 27th.
26th and 27th.
26th and 27th of July. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lydia.
Thank you.